This is day number 1 of lagging. The last time we were here, we were finalizing our piles. So remember, I'm gonna tell you the details of lagging. Hey, yo, Poland Spring, if you're watching this, sponsor me. Order of piles were supposed to happen pre-underpinning, but because the piles were backed up, we did underpinning on one section, piles came, we did the piles in less than 2 business days, faster than you can believe, super secure, so that stabilization of the slopes that we're gonna be doing is prepared. Now, the slope stabilization is not fully complete until we do something called lagging. Lagging is when we take this Douglas fir, timber wood, are going up against the wall, and I'm gonna take you in to show you some details. But Monday, which we're coming back, today's Friday, we're gonna go down a huge section, and there's gonna be lagging done throughout the whole site so that we can continue to do our foundation. Remember, foundation is not you just come and put up walls. There's a lot of excavation, SOE, shoring of excavation, lagging piles, etc., etc. So I'm gonna be taking you down now, and I'm gonna tell you some cool details. Follow me in. Don't get hit by this truck. You might not see me, so I want him to see. Oh, he's going up. Let's go. All right, guys, so I'm taking you into the nits and grits. Right now, in order for us to do the lagging correctly, they need to take all of these bits, concrete, compacted soil, compacted concrete, compacted bricks, on the adjacent party foundation wall that's falling into our lot and make it flat and flush so that these timber woods can be placed in between the piles. And that is what's called lagging. It's basically creating a brace wall to make sure that it helps to prevent and it also stabilizes the soil when we go down 45 degrees. And we're gonna go down deep. Here we go. He's cutting them to fit them to measure to the exact size. So we're also adding concrete in between the lagging. We're putting the concrete mix, and when we add water, it will expand and become tight. And that's what's gonna make the stabilization across all throughout our site when we're lagging. So on Monday when you come back, we're gonna go down another 10 feet, and you're gonna see the lagging process in full effect. All right, guys, if you're back, that means you saw what we did on Friday. Today's Monday. Now remember, when you got here last week, the first section was cut, and we were lagging just about 3 or 4 feet. And I told you when you would come back, there's gonna be a drop, maybe in 10 to 15 feet. And I wanna take you into a certain section and explain to you the process of lagging. Now, I've already told you there's something called slope stabilization, but in bigger detail, what slope stabilization means is these piles and the lagging is what's holding the site in its place. In order for us to prepare for our foundation, put the foam boards out, put the rebars in, pour the concrete, and then backfill it. But I want to take you in a little bit more detail, and this particular set of lagging is known as a straight cut. We're able to straight cut because we put the piles in. And let me show you what the guys are doing right now. I'm going to tell you a couple of cool details of why this is the greatest development channel in the history. And if you want to see the previous video, click right here so you're able to refresh. And the next video, which we're gonna implement a little icon on, stay tuned, we're gonna drop them once a week. So share and subscribe, youtube.com/RichiesAvNY. Right here, we have 2 parts of the wood lagging. This Douglas fir is one on top of another. Now, if they were to be straight flush connected, it can technically indent, and then this pile would serve no purpose. What they did is, and if you look close enough, you have this nail right here, and a nail here. They actually nailed this lagging, this wood, onto the one behind it. So it's one on top of the other, so that the pile is pushing onto it and holding its pressure. Now, piles and lagging are expensive. We're able to go straight cut. Now, we have another alternative route. I could have went to the neighbor and asked him to not put anything on his site and done a 45-degree angle. But that would cost a cross-access agreement, time, insurance, and it would overcomplicate it. So what we did is, we did these piles so we're able to maneuver within the site, which is how we're able to have 15 guys here today on site. Many of them working on the steel welding, which I'm gonna take you to in a second. Many of them working on the piles and lagging. Also, we have the excavators, the mini Bobcat excavator, all throughout the unanimous team. And I'm looking around because there's a lot of guys, and a lot of them have a lot of action behind me. So I wanna take you to the steel part of it to explain to you what's next. All right, now the purpose of these steel beams, because we stepped in our piles to the left of me, we now have to get these T-cuts. So it's like this, and it sticks out. These T-cuts behind the piles so that we can then put our lagging in order for it to act as an extension These steel piles, a combination of the steel welded beams and the lagging, the nails, the dry compact, and the spacers is what's allowing us to go down. So when you're gonna come back here in the next video, we're gonna be dropped an additional 10 feet on this side, and underpinning will be happening on that side. Remember, we still have to finish our second level of underpinning on that adjacent wall. So we're basically in the middle of our SOE, which stands for shoring of excavation. Our SOE is almost complete in order to commence our actual foundation. So when people tell you we're doing foundation, you don't just start foundation. You need to have your shoring of excavation, then your footings, and then the actual foundation. So we're gonna walk you through every single step of this process. This is a combination of a few hundred people just for this single phase. And I'm gonna take you to the next phase of foundation. So make sure you like, share, watch, subscribe this damn video.